This is how I helped my self-employed client buy a Mercedes EQS, but not with a car loan. Woo. And just like the sexy interior of the EQS, let's dive into the interior of this lending. Now the car that he's buying, which is this EQS over here, is around 278k. And working with this self-employed client's accountant, which I'm not offering financial advice, we're going to create a quasi car loan within his home loan. And on top of that, we're going to make this quasi car loan tax deductible because he's going to use it for tax wink wink purposes. Now, before I jump into the deets of this quasi car loan that I'm going to create from his existing home loan, I want to show you if he actually went to get a car loan, how much it'll be costing him. First of all, let's round off the number. Say, for example, the purchase price is $278 for this EQS. He would put down $28,000 as a deposit. So the final loan that he wants to get is $250K. Let's say I Google car loan repayments and got a quote for a car loan as a consumer, $250K, let's say 5-year loan term. The interest rate is about 7.5 and the repayment is actually $4,004. Now let's slap down a table, cut it in half. On the left hand side, we have quasi car loan, and on the right hand side, we have a normal car loan. Let's chuck in the dates, 7.5% interest rate, $4,004 per month, no balloon, which means no residual. And the definition of this car loan is a chattel mortgage, which is a business car loan for business purposes. Now 4 Gs a month is nothing for this client, but I have spoken to his accountant. We want to free up some cash flow. Is there another way, Q? So let's dive into the making of the quasi car loan. Basically, he has a market value prime place of residence 1.7 mil. He currently owns 700k owing on the home loan. Now, simultaneously, I'm also helping him refinance his existing home loan to get a better rate because he's on a really high rate at the moment. So with a refinance, we can borrow up to 80% of the market value, which is 1.36 mil. And 1.36 mil minus the 700k owing, we can obtain a 660k equity. Now, I found him a bank which basically over $1 million, he can get 5.69 interest only. And the repayment of the 5.69 on a 250k quasi car loan to buy the EQS is around $1,185.42 per month. I know this is a bit of background switch because I was in my office and now I'm in my car because I'm picking my kids up. And I know what you're exactly thinking. You're saying, hey Q, this client is worse off by paying a 30-year loan on that repayment versus a car loan on 5-year repayment. But let me show you. To highlight your thinking, if he pays that $1,185 per month interest only on that home loan to pay the car, basically in 12 months times 30 years, he'll be paying $426K. But if he did the car loan, and by the way, I fucked up the figures, it's actually that payment plus there was a 20% residual, he'll be paying $290K and get the car in 5 years. But you don't need to pay the quasi car loan in 30 years. There's a bit of loan engineering that I'll show you. To break down the loan structure again, for the PPOR, there will be 3 loans after I've done the refinance. The original loan, 700K, the 410K loan for the future investment property, and then the quasi car loan, which is all at 30-year home loan. However, I can set up an offset account and a repayment system to make sure this 250K gets paid off not in 30 years, but in 5 years, and I'll show you how. Going to my calculator, I can put 250K at 569. At 5 years loan term, the repayment is 4797.25. If I came back to this car loan calculator, you'll be saying, hey Q, car loan's actually cheaper. No, because I stuffed up, I included a residual. Say there was no balloon, it's actually 5038. Look at this, what's cheaper? The quasi car loan way or the normal car loan way? What I'll do is I'll set up a DDR direct debit of this payment to make sure this gets paid out in actually 5 years. That will be manually set up by me through a direct debit. But the loan for the home loan is still 30 years. And this is the beauty of this. If my client who runs a very successful business suddenly one day has cash flow issues due to business not working well, if he went for the car loan during that 5 years, the repayment will still be this amount regardless. If he did it this quasi car loan way, not only am I paying a lesser repayment than this, I can get rid of the DDR. I can go back to paying interest only like this. This amount minus the bare basic interest only, that means every month I have a cash flow of $3,600 per month. If I was a self-employed business owner, which I am, and cash flow is king, and I'm stuck with cash flow issues, I'll turn off the direct debit for maybe a few months, 6-7 months, without the bank approving whether I can do it or not, because I am the boss of my finance. Rather than him, basically, if he got a car loan rather than the quasi car loan, he probably has to sell the EQS because he can't afford the bloody repayments per month, which is this. In terms of tax deductibility, whether you're doing a normal car loan or a quasi car loan, you can still claim the same tax deduction as you're doing a normal car loan versus a quasi car loan, which I have engineered for my client. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how I got my client an EQS without a car loan. Thinking about it, maybe I should change my Beamer to a Merc one day. Anyway, jump in the comments, let me know what you think. Do you think this is an ingenious strategy? Maybe you disagree. Love to read your comments.